check your phone. Nothing. No messages, no missed calls, just a blank screen staring back at you. And for a second, before you can even name it, something in your chest tightens. It feels like rejection. It feels almost physical. That's because it is. But that raises a strange question. Why would a feeling, just a feeling, register in your body as something close to pain? This is KainosDMT-Lounge, where we have deep, meaningful talks. And tonight, we're asking, why does loneliness hurt? For most of your life, you've probably treated emotional pain and physical pain as two completely different things. One lives in your body, the other lives in your head, but your brain never got that memo. As far as your brain is concerned, being left out and being hurt are processed by some of the same machinery. Same alarm system, same chemical response, same urgency. To understand why, you have to go back, not to last week or last year, but to a time before phones, before cities, before written language of any kind, a time when being alone didn't just feel bad, it was a death sentence. For most of human history, survival depended entirely on the group. A single human, alone on the savannah, was slow, weak, and easy prey. No claws, no armor, no real speed to speak of. What kept your ancestors alive wasn't strength, it was numbers. Shared eyes watching for predators, shared hands gathering food, shared warmth at night. So your body needed a way to know, instantly, when it was in danger of losing that protection. It needed an alarm, and the alarm it chose wasn't a new system built from scratch. It was an old one, repurposed. The same network in your brain that lights up when you stub your toe or burn your hand also lights up when you feel excluded, ignored, or rejected. This isn't just a metaphor. It's been measured. In the early 2000s, psychologist Naomi Eisenberger and neuroscientist Matthew Lieberman, both at UCLA, ran an experiment using a simple computer game called Cyberball. Participants believed they were playing a game of catch with two other players online. In reality, the other players were controlled by the researchers. Partway through, the players stopped throwing the ball to the participant. No explanation, no insult, just silence, just exclusion. While this was happening, the participants were inside an fMRI scanner. The results were striking. The brain region that activated during this small, harmless act of being ignored was the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex, a part of the brain heavily involved in processing physical pain. The same region that responds when your body is injured responded when someone simply stopped passing a digital ball to you in a game that didn't matter. Your brain didn't seem to know the difference. A virtual ball, strangers you'd never meet. Nothing was actually at stake, and still, the brain treated it the same way it would treat a real wound. If emotional and physical pain share some of the same circuitry, what happens if you take something designed for physical pain and use it on emotional pain instead? That question led to one of the strangest studies in this field. Researcher Naomi DeWall and her colleagues gave participants either a common over-the-counter pain reliever, Acetaminophen, or a placebo every day for 3 weeks. The participants weren't told what the pills were for. They simply took them and reported their feelings each day. By the end of the study, the people taking the pain reliever reported significantly less social pain, less hurt feelings, less sting from rejection. Their brain scans showed reduced activity in the same regions that lit up during the Cyberball experiment. A pill made for headaches and sore muscles was dulling the pain of feeling left out. That should sound impossible, but it makes sense once you accept the premise. To your brain, social pain isn't a separate category. It's a variation on a theme it already knows how to play. So why does this matter for loneliness specifically? Because loneliness isn't a single event like being ignored in a game. It's a sustained signal, a chronic alarm, and chronic alarms come at a cost. Psychologist John Cacioppo, who spent decades studying loneliness at the University of Chicago, described it almost like hunger or thirst. Hunger tells you your body is low on fuel. Thirst tells you your body is low on water. Loneliness, Cacioppo argued, tells you your social connections are running low and that you are, in some sense, exposed. Hunger is uncomfortable because food was once uncertain. Loneliness is uncomfortable because, for nearly all of human history, isolation was dangerous. But here's where it gets stranger. That alarm was built for a world where loneliness meant immediate physical danger, wandering from the tribe, losing your protectors, becoming visible to predators in the dark. You don't live in that world anymore. You can be lonely in a city of 10 million people. You can feel isolated while surrounded by coworkers, classmates, even family. The ancient alarm doesn't know any of that. It only knows one thing. Are you connected or are you exposed? And if the answer feels like exposed, even if no actual danger exists, your body responds as if it does. Cacioppo's research found that chronic loneliness is linked to elevated cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. It's linked to higher blood pressure, disrupted sleep, and a weakened immune response. Some studies have even compared the long-term health impact of chronic loneliness to smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. A feeling, just a feeling, carrying a health cost on the level of a physical habit that kills people slowly over decades. Here's the strange part. Loneliness doesn't just make people sad, it changes the way they see the world. Studies suggest that lonely people become more sensitive to social threats. A neutral comment can feel hostile. A delayed reply can feel deliberate. A stranger's expression can seem colder than it really is. It's as if the brain, sensing isolation, turns up the volume on anything that might signal rejection, which creates a vicious cycle. The more lonely you feel, the more danger you see. And the more danger you see, the harder it becomes to reconnect. There's another piece to this, and it goes back even further to a series of experiments from the mid-20th century that are still discussed today. Psychologist Harlow studied infant rhesus monkeys, separating them from their mothers and giving them a choice between two artificial replacements. One was made of bare wire but dispensed food. The other was covered in soft cloth but offered no food at all. The monkeys overwhelmingly chose the cloth mother. They clung to it. They sought it out when frightened. Food mattered, but comfort and connection mattered just as much, sometimes more. What Harlow's work suggested, and what decades of research since has confirmed, is that connection isn't a luxury bolted onto survival. It is survival. Your nervous system was shaped by millions of years where being close to others, physically and emotionally, was as fundamental as eating or drinking. So, when that closeness is missing, your body doesn't file it under minor inconvenience. It files it under threat. Now think about what this actually means about you. It means the ache you feel after a breakup, the heaviness after being excluded, the strange hollow feeling after eating alone for the 10th night in a row. None of that is a flaw in your wiring. It's the wiring working exactly as designed. You are not too sensitive for feeling disconnection in your body. You are running software that kept your ancestors alive long enough to become your ancestors. It also means something quieter. It means that your need for other people isn't a weakness you're supposed to grow out of. It's not something separate from your survival instincts, like fear of heights or fear of fire. It's one of those instincts, maybe the oldest one. So the next time that tightness shows up in your chest, the next time silence from someone you care about lands harder than it logically should, it isn't proof that something is wrong with you. It's proof that something very old and very effective is still running exactly as designed. It's the same circuitry that once kept your ancestors close to the fire, close to the group, close enough to survive the night. You check your phone. Nothing. No messages. No missed calls. Just a blank screen staring back at you. And for a moment, your chest tightens. That's not in your head. That's in your blood, your nervous system, your evolutionary history, quietly doing the only thing it has ever known how to do, keeping you close to the people who keep you alive. This has been today's deep, meaningful talk. Hope you enjoyed the DMT. The deeper you look, the stranger things become. Until next time, keep asking why.